Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Anzcar Abruzzi Cup here on the Simshed Broadcasting Network. We are here tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And joining me tonight up in the booth, as ever at the moment, is Dave Douglas. How you going, Dave?
G'day, Carl. G'day, everyone. Going good here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway out in the desert. We're going to see who plays their cards right, rolls the dice, or goes all in here, mate.
Yeah, that's it. It's so easy to fluff up and bet on the wrong horse here at Vegas. It's very easy for things to go wrong very quickly, isn't it?
That's it, mate. It's either you stand or you hit here, mate.
And that's enough betting puns for the moment.
I thought I'd get them all in while we can.
we have to even about through the race a little bit. We can't go all in all at once.
Fair enough.
So tonight, Vegas, one of those speedways, it's that sort of like cookie cutter track, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it is, especially with these new high downforce cup cars. Obviously with the restrictors in them. It's more of a super speedway now that later on in the run they'll have to slow down a bit, possibly use a little brake, but yeah, just got to look after your tyres here and conserve and see how it comes out at the end.
Yeah, that's it. And you can sometimes get thrown off a little bit through the exit of turns 3 and 4, of course. It gets a little bit bumpy sometimes, and when your tyres start wearing down, things can get a little bit troublesome. Now, we'll just run quickly through the championship standings. So up in first place is Neil Pearson after that brilliant victory last week. Second is Josh Micklemore with Michael Skurlock in third. Fourth is Stephen Williams with Chris Purnell in fifth. In joint sixth position is Manny Raymond with Devon Stove. In eighth position is Edward Foster. Joint ninth is Danny G and Gary Wellman. So a few of the newer competitors up there for the first time, which is absolutely great. For some reason, it's come on as night.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's extremely new to me. I wasn't expecting the lights to come on here, but yeah, here we are.
Well, that's going to change things a little bit, racing under lights. Of course, it's going to change the track temperature a bit as well, isn't it? It's going to bring it down quite a bit here at Vegas, where it's normally quite hot.
Yeah, certainly it'll tighten up the cars, but hopefully it'll produce a bit more racing.
That's it. So let's start running through the grid. So up on the first row of the grid, we have Jason Martin and Josh Micklemore. Second row, we have Josh Micklemore and Danny... Sorry, I think I said Josh Micklemore. Jason Martin, Josh McCarroll-Walton. Second row is Josh Micklemore, Danny G. Third row is Andrew Dyson, Jake Maloney. Fourth, Devon Stove, Neil Pearson. Fifth, Chris Purnell, Edward Foster. Sixth, Hamish Gallagher, Barry Neal. Seventh row is Raymond Yeager with Philip Worley. Eighth is Dordenack and Trehear. Ninth, we have Skurlock and Robbie. 10th, Hartigan, Rob Raymond. 11th, Stockton and Priest. 12th is Major and Schultz. 13th, we have Williams and Roselle. 14th, Urquio and Curtis. 15th, Finley and Koch. 16th is Button and Griffiths. 16th is Bull and Otto. 17th, we have Witcher and Jordan. 18th, Hunter Patton. 19th, Anakatis and Spencer. 20th, we have Jesberg and Jackson, and right at the end, we have Reuben Phelps, who got in with his standing in the championship within the top 20. So we are underway here. The cars are going to start pacing up. Jason Martin on the front row. We've not seen that for a little bit of time, but nice to see it back up there. Jason, of course, very good on this style of track, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly. It's been a while since we've seen him on the pole, but he's about to lead us away. We'll look for a bit of two wide running early on here, and then they should sort themselves into single file, I'd say.
Yeah, that's it. And Jason hoping to get a good result tonight. It's been a bit of a rough season so far for Mitch Motorsport, but they are creeping their way into the championship, as is always the case. Joshua Carroll-Walden second there on the outside row. Good result for him tonight in the Natari Autosport car. First time we've seen him up there this season, but the pace car is going to come in. The green flag will drop soon, and Jason Martin gets a run away from the field there. He launches it off there, catching JCW napping.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be in trouble for that. You got to wait for the green on the first one, but we see Jack Maloney drop to the apron down there. He's going to drop to the back of the field and stay out of trouble, just like he did last week.
Yeah, try and keep out the way of everything as he goes. There. So Jason Martin getting a good start, but this has given his teammate Josh Micklemore a chance to get up behind him. You can see a little bit further back as well. Danny G, so his Mitch Motorsports cars getting into a line pretty early on. They've only got
Cranky Sports car like there. Sideways, sorry. One of the Cranky Sports just got the left front of the apron and got sideways there. It would have been the 920 of Chris Purnell, losing spots.
Yeah, and I think that actually hurt Jason Hardigan, who actually had to lift off there, and he's dropped back a fair few places. So that moment just costing a couple of people. A few people just struggling on these cold tyres at the moment can be a bit tricky.
Yeah, definitely. There's plenty of banking there to use, but through turn 1, there's 2 lines. You can use a low line and there is a middle line as well. But 3 and 4 is pretty much the low side of the track.
That's it. And you see a few people taking advantage of the flyover there as well as they come across that front section. Of course, can be a little bit tricky doing that because it's quite easy to lose the car.
Close between teammates there. The championship leader there with the 2020 champ just coming up on the inside there, having a look at the 9.
Yeah, getting very close. Up at the front, Jason Martin is in the lead, but Josh McCarroll-Walden is coming back at them. He's just going side by side with Josh Micklemore at the moment. He's going to take the inside line here. Now, it looks like if he can make it stick, he's going to get that move. Going to see.
He's sideways. He was loose. He holds onto it. But yeah, it's this turn 2 similar to Miami, where if you've got that high line, you can carry that momentum off the top of the track as well. So it's doable, but probably easier to do here than it was at Miami last week.
Yeah, that's it. JCW did a great job there to keep the car pointing in the right direction because that was almost a big crash. Just behind him, we can see Foster just going down underneath Neil Pearson there, making a move, trying the same as JCW. It looks like he's managed to stick it, but Pearson's managed to get that run off the corner. Of course, you're going to get a better run off the corner when you're running up high. Foster's still on that inside line. Pearson having to go up a little bit higher, and that might cost him here.
Change for the lead up front too. You can see on riding on board with Edward there. Josh Micklemore on the 31 has gone underneath the 21 of Jason Martin up there.
Yeah, Jason Martin losing a lot of speed there through turns 3 and 4. Just going back to have a little look at that. Looks like he may have just got a little wiggle, just going up a little bit high, and that's cost him a little bit of momentum and given JCW the chance to get up there. Josh Micklemore jumping out in front though.
Yeah, man on the move here at the moment is the 53 of Edward Foster, though. He has a little bit of a wiggle, sneaks just up in front of Denny G there. That was close. He was only just cleared. He gets the move done on Denny G, and Pearson's following him through at the moment, and he's got the 21 in his sights now.
Yeah, he's now just going underneath Jason Martin and trying to make that move stick. The cars aren't looking too happy at the moment. There's a little bit of wobble between them. But Foster is definitely on the move at the moment. Pearson as well, just getting past Danny G behind him. Coming up quick is
JCW. JCW makes the move on the inside to take the lead. The 35 car will be at the point of this lap.
Yeah, good recovery from JCW. Was that a little bit slower on that start there, but he has managed to get up right to the front and doing a great job.
Yeah, certainly. So he's got a bit of a handle on this track. He's just got to get himself into a rhythm now and try and look up tyres as Edward Foster looks to take it 3 wide down the back straight into turn 3 and is going to make that pass stick. That bit of teamwork from those guys above him, but yeah, he's going to make that pass on the inside now as they get close on the exit.
Yeah, Foster, great move there. He really took advantage of Martin and Micklemore being up so high. He did catch the apron a little bit. Good job holding the car in that position because when you catch the apron here at Vegas, it's so easy to lose it. But he's managed to make that move stick, and Pearson has come along right behind him, followed him through there, and gotten up into 3rd position.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know if that's a bit of a plan for those Mitch cars, possibly just conserving, looking after the tyres for now. Obviously, limited sets as we talk about every week. Bit of strategy involved, so could be a bit of strategy there, but we'll see and find out.
Yeah, they are dropping back into formation now with Danny G and Hamish Gallagher as well. So those guys are starting to form up a 4-car pack now. Obviously, with this track being quite fast, you can take advantage a little bit of the draft, but it's not as much as a super speedway, is it?
No, definitely not. You get a little bit of it down the front straight. As you see, some of them shortcut that bit of straight as we ride with Gallagher there, goes straight down to the apron, so you can use that part of the track, and you can get an advantage out of it as well.
Yeah, that's it. It can work out quite well for you. And as I was saying a little bit earlier, you've got to be careful sometimes because it does disrupt the car a little bit as you go from oval to flat. Sometimes the car gets a little bit wobbly from that kind of thing, but most of these guys have got the experience to hold on to that. Sometimes a little bit later on, you can start finding a couple of problems, but I'm sure everybody we're looking at. A little bit further down, we've got Crank Esport cars almost 4 wide as they came across the start-finish line. Now, Luke Trahir coming down on the inside, and those three are starting to work together, just getting underneath James Robbie there in the Pace Syndicate car. Luke Trahir getting his first victory in the Anzcar series on Monday in the trucks.
Yeah, Purnell just got a bit checked up there. Got a bit loose mid-turn 1 through turn 1 and 2 there. We've got Aiden Schultz on screen and the new Mac 1 Esports livery there. Big news during the week. Those guys have merged. A1 Sim Sports merged with Mac 1 Esports, sorry.
Yeah, big merger there. So himself, Riley Curtis, up into that team. Now A1 no more, but Mark 1 is definitely there. Just looking a little bit further back, Mirko Dortnak was just having a big moment, and he's managed to catch it, but he has lost a handful of positions. Almost caused a bit of trouble for the Crank Esport boys, but it's managed to settle down a little bit there.
Yeah, remembering those guys are former teammates as well. So Mirko used to drive for Chris Purnell in the Illusion days.
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago now, but he is definitely there. But up the front, we've got a change for the lead as Foster takes the lead. Joshua Carroll Walton having to run up a little bit high, giving Pearson the opportunity to get underneath him and try and take that second place from him.
Yeah, Foster looks racing tonight. We'll just go to replay and watch. He might have just got a little bit loose mid-turn there. Might have just check after the throttle there, but Edward definitely aggressive and makes the authoritative move straight down the inside of the 35 there. Being ex-teammates as well, and basically a bit of a satellite team for the Notari Autosports. I believe Edward's got a fair bit to do with that team, possibly the owner.
We're working close with each other there. But Neil Pearson coming through now and actually getting past JCW. So Pearson up into second place. Of course, Pearson, the championship leader at the moment, and he wants to keep it that way in the DPR Simrigs car. So he's definitely going to want to try and keep it that way. But of course, Foster wants to retain his championship. So all of these guys have got big things to play for.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a quiet start, I suppose, for the 53 there. Just plodding along doing his job. Obviously one to forget at Daytona, but he's been there or thereabouts. So yeah, maybe tonight he just makes that little bit extra and might come away with a W tonight.
Yeah, we have seen this from Foster before, just not pushing too hard in the early season. Always he gets sideways, just managed to catch that. But that's going to give Pearson a bit of a run across the tri-oval. He might have just caught that in time to not have too much to come from it, but Pearson's definitely got the run on him here. But Foster, yeah, he tends to start off a little bit quieter in the season and then build up, like we saw last season, dominating the end of the year when it mattered. But consistency is usually his strongest point as Pearson goes down to the inside, takes a look. The number 9 on the 53 right here, trying to get through it. They get very close on the exit of turn number 4. Pearson is right underneath there. He's going to get a little bit of that side draft, so he should get a decent run here as they go into turn 1 again. Pearson on the inside, Foster on the outside, and Pearson looks to have that position held. Oh, as he goes up, almost touches. Pearson has to correct a car there. Very, very close between those two. Very, very close indeed. There was a cigarette paper between those two there.
Still on,
Pearson's going to make the move stop.
Yeah, she's still on here. It's a good little battle here, side by side. He doesn't get clear, so Edward will get the run down the front straight here. So we're going to go 2 wide again for another whole lap here. I think that's nearly 2 laps we've been side by side. So interesting to see these cars getting loose. So obviously inside car gets a bit tight, goes up the track a bit. Edward would have saw that and opened the steering up a bit as well, so hurt his run. But still side by side down the back straight here now. Who's going to win out here?
Well, you've got to say the outside line seems to have a better run off the corner, but Pearson has got that inside area, so looks like he might get it stuck this time as he gets the car ahead of Foster, manages to get up ahead of him and make that move stick.
Yeah, great little battle there. So Edward's not done yet. He's going to sneak up on his outside, so he's got the outside there now. But yeah, this could be the night time, making the racing exciting for us up front, which is what we'd like to see.
Yeah, of course, these guys have been practicing all day in, well, for the practice, actually, it was all in the sunny daytime. So very different conditions here at night. And that's going to throw a few people off because it changes the way the car handles, changes how the tyre works, basically, because it's a much cooler temperature, of course. They were probably coming into this expecting the track temperatures to be up in the 30s and 40s area. It's only about 20 Celsius out there now. So, that makes a big change. And, of course, being nighttime, you're not having the sun beating down on the track.
Yeah, massive difference. I thought it would actually tighten the cars up a little bit more. When I say tighten, get a bit more push in the front end, just because it's a bit cooler, it's not so loose. But they still are a bit loose by the looks of it. A couple of drivers having a bit of issue there.
Yeah, it can be one of those things as it goes on longer. Of course, the tyres start to degrade a little bit, and you do get that little bit of looseness through the rear of the car sometimes. And one of the things I've always experienced at Las Vegas is just mid-corner, you've got to be careful because the car can get a little bit loose as you get there, especially in some of the lower formulas where you don't have the same downforce as these Cup cars.
Yeah, as we see the 31 of Josh Bicklemore there getting really loose and almost touching the fence coming out of turn 2 that time.
Yeah, having to lift off there as well, and that's luckily he's got teammates all around him there that can sort of give him a little bit of protection, but that's given JCW, Joshua Carroll-Walden, a chance to run away a little bit, as well as Foster and Pearson.
Yeah, so we've got to keep an eye on those Mitch cars to see if they do start to reel in this front group, remembering that they were more aggressive cars that are in the lead of the race right now, whereas I think the Mitch cars were more conservative. As this race goes on, we'll see if they can start to close that gap and possibly pass these cars, as it's all about tyres at the moment.
And it looks like just behind Jason Martin is just swapping position with his teammate there. Hamish Gallagher coming up as well, so it looks like they're just shuffling around behind them, just seeing who's got the fastest car at the moment, working out which is the best way to run, things like that, and then maybe start pushing their way up there again. Of course, sitting in those spots is not a bad place to be this early in the race. Of course, we're only on lap 25 of 130 tonight, so still a long way to go. And if a caution comes out, you want to be up there at the top to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like the Riley Curtis is working his way through the field in the 93 there in the fresh livery of the Mach 1 cars and the Anzcar Cup Series. Good-looking cars there, so hopefully he can work his way forward there a bit more and see where he ends up. I know he had a good truck race earlier this week, but yeah, we'll see how he goes tonight.
Yeah,
he makes the move on his teammate and Aidan Schultz in the 52.
Yeah, now they've got to try and start catching up to Stephen Williams and then Lachlan Urquio as well. Lachlan Urquio having a stellar run this season in the ARCA series, having his third straight victory on Tuesday night. So he's going to want to try and carry some of that luck over with him to the Cup series as well.
Yeah, certainly, and I think he's doing that as well. We've mentioned him a few times already this season being up the front. He's got into a few unfortunate incidents meanwhile, but not really any of his doing though so far. So a bit of bad luck for him so far this season. Hopefully his luck can turn tonight at Las Vegas. If energy gets real tight and loose, or not so much loose, but tightens up down underneath the DPR car there and almost runs him up the track. Yeah,
this can be the tricky thing running with teammates and things. You sort of sit behind them a little bit, but now it's given the opportunity to Andrew Dyson in the DPR car to come hunting for him, and Barry Neal as well back there as well in the Gotcha Racing team. So those guys are coming up close and hard to them. Another driver I just want to mention as well, just sitting in 10th position at the moment, Devon Stove as well, having a stellar season this year.
Yeah, he is, and I really like the paint job on that delivery on that Cup car. It's a beautiful little blue. It's a bit of shiny, a bit of matte, a bit of carbon. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I really like that one. It looks good.
Yeah, some very nice looking cars out here tonight, which is always nice to see. But yeah, that sort of almost tealy blue colour is very nice on that car. Really makes it stand out a little bit, and especially underneath these lights when you've got a little bit of shine in the car and things like that. It really makes them pop, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, he's doing a good job, and so too Barry Neal in front of him, doing a great job for those guys in that orange 22 car.
Yeah, that's it. And another paint scheme that is very cool as well, with the lovely little flourishes on there. Some good paint schemes this season. It's what we like to see as well. Obviously, you want these cars to look good, and it's always nice when they do.
Yeah, that's it. They always look better on the lights as well. But yeah, as Barry Neal looks possibly he's starting to size up the 24 of Denny G up in front of him here. So we'll see if he can't make a move on him in the not too distant future.
Yeah, as he looks to make a move on Danny G up front. Jason Martin is starting to apply the screws to JCW right now, so putting a bit of pressure on Joshua Carroll-Walden at the moment. He's getting some okay runs, so battles all across the field at the moment, as a little bit further in front as well, James Robbie as well battling with Josh Micklemore just there with Hamish Gallagher just swapping positions a little bit there. So some battles going up and down the field at the moment, and it's just trying to keep an eye on the best battle as Barry Neal does try and make that move on Danny G, but can't quite get it stick at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. He'll keep working away at it. So obviously still green here, 32 laps into this race of 130 laps tonight. So these guys might start to look at possibly looking into their pit strategy here, because you'll get a massive undercut with new tyres, or you could play the long game and get the overcut. But there is a advantage played either way here, whether it's the right one. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, that's it. And we might even see a few people rolling the dice here and just going for the right side tyres rather than all four under green conditions, as Barry Neal gets a good run off the corner there. Goes underneath Danny G right there, trying to make it stick, trying to push Danny G onto the wrong part of the course as well. Not quite making it work at the moment.
Luke Drew here, not too far behind that, looking to make a move on Devon Stove at the moment, leading the Crank Esports team at the moment. So Luke Drew here doing a good job, leading those guys. He does look to make that pass now, and looks like he's going to get that done off turn 4.
Yeah, good move from Luke there. And as we say, taking his first victory in the Anzcar series. Great job from him. And of course, his mentor, the virtual motorsport mentor himself, Chris Purnell, very happy about that. And it carries on the good fortune of the team as well. The Crank Esports team having a fantastic season in their first year, getting quite a few victories across the different series.
Yeah, definitely. It all helps, and it's all experience. As I feel like Skurlock's making a move here on Devon Stove and just past James Robbie, but I feel like those guys have been stuck together this whole time. I remember us talking about earlier in the race, about lap 5, about James Robbie battling the Crank Esports cars.
Yeah, he's sort of been caught up in a Crank Esports sandwich for most of this race, as Skurlock has made that move and is now trying to get underneath Devon Stove, trying to put the pressure on Stove right here. But great job, great driving out here tonight. We've seen some really good battles for position as JCW and Jason Martin battle on, and Jason Martin goes on the outside this time from JCW, and he's going to try and use that outside line to get a better run off the corner here, although it looks like that inside line is working a little bit better for the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty even. Stevens obviously just that top side get the run off it, but mid-turn it's pretty even at this point in time, and yeah, it could be tyres as well. Obviously Jason probably might have looked after his tyres a bit more, but yeah, Jason's just going to pull ahead here, and the 35 is going to have Hamish Gallagher sizing him up for a pass here.
Yeah, JCW there, the 35, getting swamped by Mitch Motorsport cars at the moment, as Hamish Gallagher is right on his outside. They get very close there. JCW just getting a little bit of a wiggle there. He loses momentum as he just runs a bit loose there. The car really tightened up mid-corner, actually, and that's cost him some momentum off that corner. That's going to give Josh Micklemore the opportunity now to pounce on him.
Yeah, right at the exit there, just where he needed to just pull the wheel a bit more tighter on the inside of the 13 there. Just got loose on him, so the 31's looking up the inside now. He's going to get that job done fairly easy.
Yeah, JCW looking to be suffering a little bit out there, and he's just hemorrhaged a couple of positions, but he's going to try and get back onto that now and try and get back to the fighting. And that's the thing. You have to be very. You have to remember sometimes, you might lose a couple of positions, but it will come back to you eventually.
Yeah, that's it. We talked about the tyres, so we did say that the 3 guys up front were more aggressive. Josh probably the most out of that, because he's starting to drop back now, and those Mitch cars are slowly moving forward as well.
Yeah, and we did say watch out for the Mitch cars, because they might be just hanging back a little bit. We've got a great battle going on between Stove and Skurlock at the moment. Skurlock on the inside there, and the Crank Esports car, Devon Stove on the outside. In the short shift racing entry.
Barry Neal still working high on the back of Danny G in the 24 here. He's got close. He's got side by side with him a few times. I've been keeping an eye on it, and he just doesn't have that momentum to complete the pass. So he might be better off just sort of cruising at the moment, and let his tyres cool out and have another crack in a couple of laps.
Yeah, that's the other thing, of course, is the heat of the tyre. It's not just the wear of these tyres, it's also the heat you have to be considerate of, because when you do get those back ends getting a little bit loose, you start running a lot more heat through the tyres, and if they get too hot, you do need to let them cool down a little bit over the laps as they go on.
Yeah, that's right. So the evolution of the tyre definitely plays an effect here. So it's a 350 of Skurlock is still trying to get past the Devon Stove and has that done now. Now the 920 is going to get involved in this as well to try and do the same move.
Yeah, good battle going on here.
Down the back straight. And yeah, the 350 is done. So the 61 just looks like he's might be just struggling a little bit of push in the middle there. There's a bit of an odd movement on the exit turn there, but yeah, Josh is slipping back a little bit as well here up the front as the 920 does go down the inside now of the 61 of Devon Stove. Yeah, we'll see if he can get that pass done down into turn 3 here.
He seems to be holding on to that well, but you can just see the outside line does have that little bit better run off onto the straights, but the mid-corner ability is very helpful as Mogo Dortnak comes into the pit lane, first guy to blink so far.
Yeah, we said the pits won't be too far away, so he's going to try and get a undercut here and see if he can't vault himself up the order a little bit here. It'll hurt him towards the end of the run, but right now he'll come out, he'll be flying out there. And I just heard that 35 is going to stop this time by as he's struggling on tyres. So, yeah, I'm not surprised to see the 35 coming and committing to an early stop here.
Yeah, I think he's maybe just pushed that right tyre a little bit too much, and it's just coming back to bite right now. Foster, I think, is in the pit lane as well. So Foster coming in too. So we have got the first load of pit stops starting to happen on lap 43.
Yeah, it's all going to start playing out in the next couple of laps, and we'll see where they basically throw the marbles up in the air, see where they land here at the moment.
Of course, coming in this early, you know, if there's a caution that comes out right now, it can really affect you when you come back on the track. But it can come back to pay dividends if you stay out there a bit, if you manage to go green, of course, and you can get that undercut working. So we'll see how that comes to pass as it goes on. We'll see how this all works out as well.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Neil Pearson at the moment. So he's in the lead. He's inherited the lead of the race. So he is still out on track, coming to turn 3 and 4 right now. We'll see if he stops. It looks like he's going to continue on for some more here. So fuel in hand. He's going to play his cards a bit longer by the looks of it tonight.
That's it. I think Josh Micklemore has also come into pit lane, which is a little bit surprising because usually we see the Mitch Motorsport boys come in all together. So he's come in on his own. So they're sort of splitting the strategy a little bit with their team, which is a bit different there for them. Neil Pearson starting to have to lift a little bit through the corners now. I'm just listening to the car, and he's not able to go full throttle out there for sure. So he's starting to have to ease off a bit more than expected. But we have got a lot of people starting to come into the pit lane now. So, of course, the longer you stay out when there are people coming into pit lane and exiting pit lane on those cold tyres, there is a higher risk of those cautions coming out, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. So Neil Pearson, it's going to be good here to see the difference. So Edward came in fairly early. Neil Pearson's still out there trucking on. Looks like he's going to continue on for another few laps here. So you'll see how much the undercut is worth here. It's going to be good to gauge the gap between those guys when he does take that stop, just for the guys at home.
Chris Purnell coming in as well. So Crank Esport getting a couple of cars into the pit lane. So they're coming in sort of at the expected-ish sort of time. We're sort of expecting pit stops around about lap 48 to 50 for fuel reasons. So most of these people coming in for their fuel stop. So also depends on who's done a good job fuel saving as well.
Yeah, definitely. Barry Neal, as we see him pull down now, the 22's done a good job on his opening stanza. Get some fresh rubber and get back out there and keep fighting on as the 9 of Neil Pearson continues to stay out at the moment.
Yeah, staying out there a bit longer. At the moment, he's setting lap times of around about 31.3, whereas people like Foster who pitted are a good second faster than him. So that last lap was a 30.3 for Foster, 31.3 for Pearson. So you can see the advantage of those fresh tyres right away, about a second quicker.
Yeah, so we'll see it on track when he does come out. We'll get those numbers for you. But what this does for Neil is it pushes, and the yellow flag comes out. That's big. That's halfway through pit stops here. We'll have to find out what the yellow flag's out here for. But I was just about to make the point that it'll make his next lot of stints a bit shorter. But yeah, we go to a replay here. We'll see what happened.
Oh, big hit.
Oh.
Neil, sorry.
350 of Volker Skurlock just tags the back of the 41 of James Robbie. Just really awkward contact in the middle of the turn there. I'm not sure what happened with the 350, but the 920 gets involved. Jason Hardikin just avoids it up the top there. And, there's a few unhappy customers out there at the moment.
Yeah, Paul Jackson getting caught up in that as I think we saw, I think it might have been James Robbie rolling down there. He just couldn't hold his brakes there, so he caught Paul Jackson. So quite a few cars getting caught up in that one.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back and review it now. Oh, he's caught Paul Jackson, who was a lot slower off the pace there, and that's what it is. So the 350's been caught out of the slower 080 car, and at that point, the 41's jumped around the outside as Neil Pearson comes down now to get his service. But Skurlock just jumped out and obviously maybe not realised the 41 was so close. Yeah, just tagged him.
Yeah, that is that's a big one there, and that's taken out a couple of fast cars tonight. But we've got Pearson in the pit lane right now. Quite a few people jumping in, and quite a few people staying out there as well. This is going to pay off for them a little bit. Of course, the one thing about this track is you don't lose a lap when you pit. So you're going to have those guys that pitted up in front, but they're going to be on those older tyres. Yeah,
that's right. With the limited tyre sets, it's going to play into the guys that did stay out now, because they'll have a compressed field and they'll have fresh, brand new rubber on that, whereas the other guys probably stayed out because they would have pitted not too many laps to go, and there's no point in getting new tyres when you don't have too many to work with. But yeah, real shame for James Robbie getting caught up in that accident. No part in that of his own there.
Yeah, it's very, very tricky sometimes. And when you're a passenger, it's never fun.
So Jake Maloney inherits this lead, so staying out at this point in time, saving rubber. He did do that last week and come away with the chocolate, so we'll see if it works for tonight. So we got as you can see in the leaderboard there, James Maloney up front there and Phelps behind him, and then Neil Pearson scoring third. That might update this time by possibly. As Brady elects to come down now and take service, and Phelps follows him, I believe. So, interesting little accident there. It was almost didn't need to happen. It sort of come from nothing. But, a couple of guys just getting caught out there by the slower cars. And as we were talking about, the speed difference on fresh tyres versus old tyres is massive, and that's what possibly caught them out there.
Yeah, that's it. And I think a few people having trouble just getting everything working out for the iRacing systems, but it's going to drop a lot of people down the order that were much higher, and it's going to bring a lot of people that were a lot lower up the order as well. Justin Witcher up 27 positions, Perry Anakatas up 29 positions, up in P10, Nathan Button up to P11, he's 20 positions up, so a lot of fresh faces up at the top of the field as well, so that's going to throw things out, but this has worked out very well for Neil Pearson.
Yeah, it certainly has. So because a lot of cars will be caught a lap down here, I think that's played out. So there's a lot of cars still a lap down because the 9 stayed out for so long. That it's really mixed up at the moment, and it's played perfectly for Pearson tonight. He can't do no wrong at the moment in Anzcar. He's having a great season so far.
And you got to look around him as well. He's got his teammate of Andrew Dyson just behind him. A little bit further back, he's got Damon Stockton as well, another DPR car up in 5th position. So it's worked out very well for DPR, who have managed to get a lot of cars up into that top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's right. So Jack Maloney, you saw him come down pit road, and he was able to take his stop, and he's going to drop back a little bit here. It looks like he's dropped back to possibly back outside the top 10. But yeah, it's worked out perfectly for Pearson here. I can't believe that. Just trying to see how many cars are still got on the lead lap here. So a lot of cars getting the wave around as the pace car you can see here now. And Neil Pearson will come up and set the pack. So we've got 30 cars still on the lead lap here now.
We have, and those cars coming up to catch, you've just got to watch out because they're going to start catching at an immense speed right now. Those guys, that's most of the field. Most of the field there are sort of catching up still. So there's going to be a big amount of cars that are just coming in at race pace, having to brake very quickly. So this could throw a lot of people out as Pearson gets ready to go for the green. Pace car lights are coming out. They're starting to go 2 by 2 right now. Pace car will come in very shortly and Pearson will take the green. So quite a few of those cars catching up now. Pearson drops the hammer, goes away nice and quick. Good start from Pearson. He's managed to get the lead. Andrew Dyson on the outside has had a very decent restart as well. Looks like the DPR cars are all doing well. Raymond Yeager as well. He's up there and he's going to try and chase down Pearson now.
Yeah, so Pearson's Christmas has all come at once here. He's got brand new tyres and he's leading this field. Who's half the field's going to be on used tyres at the moment. There's a big move down the inside from his teammate Dyson, actually to the apron. They must have got penalties possibly. There's 2 cars coming down. Looks like they're going to come down pit road, so there might be some penalties out there.
Yeah, possibly a couple of penalties for a couple of drivers there. That is never fun, but it is a mess in the midfield at the moment as cars are flying all over the place, just trying to get into position as they've got cars on older tyres, cars on newer tyres, cars that are much faster, cars that were leading. A few cars that are damaged. We've got Aaron Major out there with a little bit of damage, with a few other cars around him that have some damage, but seem a little bit quicker at the moment. He's down there in 9th, getting absolutely swarmed at the moment. As people like Martin Foster, Danny G, Gallagher, Micklemore, Barry Neal, JCW, Phil Otto, Skurlock, they're all trying to get up back to that lead position.
Yeah, they are certainly. And look who we're riding on board with at the moment, Lockie Lockie Yukio, his name is, I believe. So anyway, we'll work on that. But yeah, we mentioned him earlier in the broadcast. He's slowly rising towards the top, and he hasn't had his spin tonight yet. So we've got to have that first, and then he'll come back.
That's it. Urquhart Joe has to do it well. But he is having a good run up there. And we've said he's got that confidence as well. He's building on that, and he is getting a good run at the moment on Raymond Yeager. He's going to get down the inside. Yeager gets a little bit
up there on the outside there, Yeager did. So, yeah, it's going to hurt his run off the turn here. We'll see if the 42 can get the job done down the inside, heading down into turn 3 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, as they get past a car that's just coming out of pit lane, going another lap down. But yeah, Lachlan has got some serious pace at the moment, and is doing a good job in that JP Simshed car, entered car with the beautiful Dragon RC livery on it.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of form coming over from the ARCA series. It's going to raise his confidence a bit. And, yeah, obviously having those 3 wins or 4 wins on the trot now is, pump his tires.
As he goes into Yeager.
Yeah, he gets him loose.
Bit loose there and just caught Yeager in the side there, but managed to keep going. That was almost a big one.
Yeah, that could have been the same as what we just had. So well done to the 23 there, Raymond Yeager, just to gather that back up and get back in line. But yeah, he's going to have a bit of work to get back up there though. So there's not much in that. There's a bit of door to door. Just got a bit tight. So that's racing here. It's racing. It's stock car racing. Just got to get on with it.
Justin Witcher makes a move now, trying to get down on Damon Stockton. Good for the Activity Hub Barley cars. Getting a good run at the moment. Jake Maloney as well, coming back up the field. He's worked his way back up to 5th position at the moment as he goes around the outside of... and they take contact there. Maloney holds it, but they did make a bit of contact there between Witcher and Maloney.
Yeah, it's much like the contact between Lockie, you and Yeager. Just door to door, just gives you a bit of a fright as they get real tight at the moment. The 23 and 29 of Maloney at the moment.
Yeah, Maloney and Yeager there just both having those moments.
And now they
door action. So
both drop back. They're both going to go head to head at each other. Yeah.
Oh, very close there as well between those two. They almost made contact again. So very close racing right here. As you see, Maloney getting right up to the back of Witcher there, really putting some pressure on him. He's going to make that move on the inside. He got that big bit of draft there, and that's going to help him shoot past, slingshot through there, and jump up ahead of the Activity Barley racing car, Justin Witcher in the number 10.
Yeah, he got right up in the rear bumper there, almost pushing him into turn 3 there, and yeah, gets the pass done. So he's on the march back up the field here, Maloney.
Yeah, good overtake there for sure, and just made that one work perfectly. It was so close there, almost making contact, but really nice slingshot there. As we're up the front, we've got a good battle starting to rev up between Pearson and Urquio, as Urquio's right on the back of Neil Pearson at the moment. He's going to try and put the pressure on, try and get the inside line. He gets a little bit loose on the rear coming into the entry of turn 1 there, but he's managed to hold it pretty steady. He's going to be able to take advantage of a bit of the draft, not to fall off too hard from Pearson.
And that's actually a lap car in front of those two guys there. So it's a teammate of Pearson, which is Dyson, but he's a lap down at the moment. So he's not in this battle for the lead.
No, that's it. And you're hearing, you know, people are having a bit of trouble with some lap cars just because there's so many people out of order at the moment, people racing everywhere. And, you know, it does make it tricky because you've got people trying to get back on their lap, try and actually keep their lap and get back into the race.
That's it. You're never out of it in NASCAR. So lap cars, they don't have to let you by. It's common courtesy, but if they don't want to let you by, they don't have to let you by. You pass them, you race them just as hard as anyone else.
That's it. It's racing all the way in oval racing. As yeah, we can hear sort of in the mid pack there's some racing going on between Gallagher and Dwayne Priest at the moment. But up the front, you've got Pearson and Urquio really battling. Behind them, you've got David Stockton making a run back on Jake Maloney as well. Jake Maloney actually coming up good as well. So good racing up here at the front of the field.
Yeah, definitely. Bit of entertainment here. The boys are having at it. They're into each other tonight on the radios. I can hear. You guys can't hear it at home, but I tell you what, there's no love lost out there tonight, and they are racing hard.
That's it. If you hear us go silent for a couple of seconds, you know we're busy listening to the radio. As Maloney and Stockton are having a great battle at the moment. This is giving Justin Witcher the chance to catch up to those two. Good job from Stockton up ahead, doing a good job of just keeping his car in the right place for himself, but the wrong place for Jake Maloney.
Yeah, definitely is. I'm just going back through the field. We've got Denny G, who's was slowly going back through the pack there, but now he's at least to be the lead charger at the moment. He's making his way back up through the field, sitting 11th at the moment. He's got Parry and Astakis in front of him, which I have never seen that name until now. So he's doing a great job there in a 144 car in the top 10 at the moment. He'll be ecstatic with that, and he's actually looks a bit speedy too. So he looks to the outside of Philip Worley in front of him.
Just jumping to the front, David Stockton has come off a little bit worse between the battle between him and Jake Maloney. And contact between Stockton and Witcher. They just made very slight contact there at the front, but they've both managed to keep it going. Very, very close there. I was just about to say, Jake Maloney pulling a similar move to Stockton as he did earlier on Witcher, just getting right up behind him and making that slingshot work. So Maloney up there in third now, trying to chase down the very fast Neil Pearson, who's managed to make almost a half a second gap over himself and Urquio. Yeah,
definitely. And a car that we seem to be mentioning more often these days is Adam Roselle and that black and grey Kangaroo Bocam car in the Chevrolet of the 293. He's doing a great job here tonight in 7th, and yeah, he's been caught out with a bit of bad luck this season, but seems to be constantly making an appearance in that top 10 throughout the races as the 23 of Raymond Jaeger, gets a good run on the car. I've just lost it in front of him.
David Stockton there, getting a good run on Stockton there as they go side by side. A little bit of door contact between the two there. We have seen a little bit of rubbing tonight, which is exactly what NASCAR is for. Rubbing is racing, lads. But they have managed to keep the cars nice and on the circuit, which is what we want to see. So some good, clean racing.
Definitely, Damon Stockton. He's in the top 5, and he's going to make him work for it by the looks of it. He's rubbing a few penalties here throughout the race so far. So not making it easy for these guys, and he doesn't have to either.
That's it. You've got to make an impression when you're up there, and if you let these guys bully you too much, they will absolutely rob you of places. Racing hard is important. Another guy that's having a good season as well is in 8th at the moment, Reuben Phelps in the Activity Hub Barley Car. Again, first season for Phelps. Been having a very good year so far and been up there in the top 20, top 10 a fair few times in a few series. So we've got a lot of names that are sort of slightly fresher to the series, getting those good results, which is what we want to see.
Yeah, and that caution come out at the wrong time for a lot of people and at the right time for a lot of people. So the field's a bit mixed up, but we love that here. We love a bit of a mixture, and it's good to see good hard racing. Get a few other guys up there, get their names in the lights, and they don't want to slip back too far. Make the most of it while they got it.
Exactly, and big moment there. big moment there. Almost a crash there. Very, very close. But as I was saying earlier, when the pit stops were happening, just staying out that little bit longer, hoping for that caution can work out for you. And that's exactly what happened to Neil Pearson. As I said, sometimes just waiting for that caution to come, it does happen. And when it does, it really throws a cat amongst the pigeons and really mixes up the field. And we've seen that tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And Justin Witcher running P4 in the number 10, doing a good job in the 10. That's what I like to see, representing the number well. But he's putting pressure on Jake Maloney by the looks of it. So maybe Maloney want to use his tyres a little bit, trying to get through the field there. But there's a juicy battle between for second place here, the second, third, fourth.
Yeah, that's it. And Lachlan Elke as well, he's just starting to struggle a little bit. He might have just run a little bit too fast too quickly as Jake Maloney gets down the inside of Urquio there and is going to try and make that move stick. Goes across the infield there, really cutting as much of the track as humanly possible. But this is going to give Witcher a good chance to get on the back of Maloney as well and possibly make Urquio drop back to all the way to 4th place.
Yeah, Witcher all but could read that the rear partner on the back of the wing of the Maloney car there. Almost pushed him into turn 1, giving him a bit of a shove. So Lockie just struggling a little bit on those used tyres. So he's going to put up a fight as much as he can. But, I don't think the 10 will be too far from getting this job finished.
Yeah, it looks like Witcher has managed to keep those tyres a little bit more alive than Urquio at the moment and is doing a good job. He does get a little bit loose mid-corner a couple of times. Oh, up front.
Lockie's in the fence. Lockie's in the fence. He just got loose right on the exit there. It's easy to do. And, just rub the rear of the fence. I think he's going to get away with it. Won't be too much damage there, but we'll jump back to a replay for you.
Yeah, that's it. Looked like all 3 of those cars had a slight moment as well. But Lockie was the biggest one there, getting up into the fence, just scraping the side of that car, damaging the paint job there as well. I'm sure his owner will be shouting at that one, but he's managed to keep the car going, which is important, and without too much damage. Hitting the wall square on there does make a bit of difference.
Yeah, it's more of a rub than anything else, so he'll get away with that. But I just think it was the car on the inside, because you know you're getting past, you sort of just try to fight as much as you can on the outside, and right at the critical point where you're committed to get to that exit, just pushed a little bit wide there.
That's it. And up at front, Neil Pearson has made almost 3 seconds. He's 2 3/4 seconds ahead of Jake Maloney at the moment without any signs of slowing down. He is really running that car well. We've seen this from Pearson a few times this season. Managing tyres, he is an expert at it.
Yeah, as I said, he can't do any wrong at the moment. He's blitzing it at the moment. He's doing what he has to do to get the car in the right position to be there at the end of this race, to have a chance to win these races. And he's won one, possibly. I know he won on the road, but he's been there or thereabouts this whole season so far.
Yeah, just the one victory so far in the Cup Series, but he has managed to get a P2 as well. So he's had some really good results. So 2 top 5 finishes out of the season with the 1 win. He's really doing a good job so far, and things are definitely coming his way. But you've got to say a lot of that is also just down to some really, really good driving. Skill. Luck is one thing, but when you are able to get the car working this well and able to get those tyres keeping life as well, that's the big thing that we've seen from Pearson, is just keeping life in those tyres. it really does pay off for you.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see, Justin, what you're going with Maloney here. Maloney's a quick guy, so for him to be just tagging on with him and keeping up that same pace, that's good to see. But a bit of a battle going on for ninth here with Phelps, Denny G, and his teammate of Hamish Gallagher behind him.
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of these guys as well aren't used to racing a lot of these other names because, as I say, new to this season. They've been having they've been fairly new in the season and just coming in. So a lot of people, when you're racing somebody that you've not really raced.
Something was going on there. You saw it in the we got to go to a replay. I saw a car down on the apron there, half sideways. So we're just going to have a quick look back here, and it's Lockie, you, and is that
Damon Stockton there?
It's him, yeah. So we've mentioned Stockton's name a few times tonight. He's going to get tight, gets right up into to Lachlan there. That's a bit more than what we've seen tonight. And I tell you what, Lockie saves this. How the hell does he save this car? Bit of help from Stockton, but gee, that's a wild ride. That's gather them up and without bringing out the caution there, but good driving there from Lockie to gather that one back up. So, do we call that his spin, or it's a half spin at least?
Well, it's definitely I'd call that a spin in the race, but this is devastating for Lockie because he's had to come into the pit lane, get some fresh tyres on that car. That spin will have really chewed those tyres up and caused a bit of damage to them, overheated them as well. So that's going to be troublesome.
I wonder if it did any damage to the suspension there because it awkwardly grabbed the outside rear, inside rear of Lockie's car and the outside rear of Stockton. So a bit clumsy there from Stockton, but as we said, he is fighting hard tonight.
Yeah, that's it, and I'm sure it's not going to affect Stockton as well. He's going to start struggling a bit as he almost gets into the side of Chris Purnell there in the 920. So he's starting to drop back a little bit. Those tyres will probably have overheated quite a lot, and he's going to start struggling for pace up towards the front. Maloney and Witcher are still battling it out with each other. They are still fighting hard. They're starting to gain a little bit on Neil Pearson now.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut over there. Stockton just give the 920 of Chris Purnell a bit of a rub down the back straight there on his bumper. Purnell is a lap down at the moment, but he is working his way to getting his lap back as Raymond Jaeger in front of him has a big moment off turn 4. But yeah, so the 920 is in this race. He's just trying to race his way back to the lead lap. So I think he is the first car a lap down. So if a caution does fly, he will be the lucky dog. So he'll get that lap back. So that's what he's fighting for right now.
Yeah, he wants to try and keep that position up at the moment. And it's easier said than done because, the leaders are going to start catching towards guys like Phil Otto, who are sort of the guys that are on the lead lap at the moment. But
keep an eye on his battle here with Roselle and Stockton here, I think.
And Foster coming into pit lane. Foster coming into the pit lane already.
We might see some fireworks here between the 263 and the Stockton 696 here, but we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see how Foster goes. So he takes the early stop this time as he did last time, and Roselle drives right up onto the back of Stockton now, almost kissing the back of that DPR Chevrolet.
Yeah, really close. But right behind them, you see the purple monster that is Jason Martin. He is flying at the moment, and he wants to get back up there for sure. He's really pushing Adam Roselle hard, and also Damon Stockton as well. So Adam Roselle's got that high line at the moment. Jason Martin makes a look on the inside line. He's thinking about the free wide here. Can't make it this turn round, but he's definitely thinking about it. This is giving Adam Roselle a chance to get ahead of Stockton. Roselle is going to take that high line. He's going to try and get that run off the corner. And get the leap over Stockton, which he should be able to do here, and he does it indeed. Right behind him is Jason Martin, though, and he is next. Stockton is next on his list.
Yeah, great move from Roselle right around the outside of Damon Stockton there. Stockton struggling on tyres here. I don't think it's going to make it easy for anyone else, but he's fighting with whatever he's got left in them tyres. So Jason's just got to be a bit careful here that he doesn't get involved in something he doesn't need to be involved in here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it could be so easy as well. When with that contact with Lachlan Urquio as well before, that would have heated tyres up. When you start sliding sideways, tyres get hot, and it does take a few laps for them to cool down, and he will still be struggling a little bit from that. So it has lost a lot of pace since then, but he is still managing to position that car in a position that makes it hard to overtake, which he is absolutely at rights to do. It is his position, and if he wants to keep it, he needs to place that car well.
As you can see, he drives right up on the back of the DPR car in front of him there, the Southwell entry, and looks up the inside here. geez, that's tight on the exit.
Great driving there from Martin. He managed to keep that car on that low line. Heavens knows how, because that was a tricky one to keep there. But he managed to do it, and it looks like he's got the inside as they come through 2 and 3 now. And you should see Martin just get a good run off here and just get ahead of Stockton.
Yeah, I haven't seen Stockton let anyone pass without door on them yet so far, so, except for Roselle, who went round the outside. So we're keeping on his battle for now, but no doubt we'll start to see some more pit stops. But at the moment, I think it's just Edward who's always, as the 21 gets a little bit loose there, as you can see some cars down there on pit road. But of the front runners, I think it was just Edward so far has taken his service. But
Micklemore and JCW, Joshua Carroll-Walton, have come into the pit lane as well. So a few different cars coming into pit lane now. Those guys that stopped early beforehand are having to come in now, though. So I'd say it's more fuel related than anything else.
I'll tell you what, we're lap 92 of 130 here, so we're getting into this race. We're getting into crunch time, so you need to make this stop a perfect stop and pick your right timing to get this job done here tonight.
Yeah, that's it. Then if we can remain green, this should be the last, the last stop. So it might be a little bit tight for some of those guys that pitted a little bit earlier on, because they seem to be struggling a little bit for fuel. But I imagine most of them will be able to make it from here on in.
Yeah, right now without any yellows, it's playing right into the hands of Neil Pearson up front. So he can just cruise. He built that gap. He doesn't have too many cars on lead lap. Jason Martin comes in for service there behind Stockton there. But yeah, he can just build that lap, work them tyres a bit longer, and then yeah, have a nice short run home.
Yeah, that's it. He is absolutely building that gap. He is 3.5 seconds ahead of Jake Maloney at the moment. One heck of a lead for Pearson, who is coming into pit lane now. Pearson coming into pit lane right now on lap 94.
94. There's a few more guys. I can hear them calling out their stopping this time. So just remember, this is how the caution came last time. A lot of speed variance out here at the moment. So you got fresh tyres versus old tyres, and yeah, it's quite a difference when you run up behind a car, because you can almost hold it flat through the turns with fresh tyres, whereas if the old tyres, you're way out of the throttle.
And of course, the other thing as well, when you're out there on those old tyres, it's so much easier to lose that car as well, especially when you're fighting tooth and nail with the drivers around you, which a lot of these guys are.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just trying to pick up the leader at the moment, which is Jake Maloney at the moment. So he's inherited the lead from those stops. So we'll see how long he goes here, and we'll see if he tries to bank on a bit of a caution. But at the moment, I think he's got the speed to stay out. So if I was Pearson, I would have stayed a bit longer. I think that's the better way to go about it. We'll see if Jake does that and stays out until he, I reckon, maybe lap 105, give himself a 25-lap dash home. That would be almost ideal. So we'll see what lap he comes in.
Yeah, the biggest thing for Maloney will be to catch Pearson, though, because he already had that big 3.5 second lead over him. Of course, if that caution comes out, that all goes away. But he, of course, is going to be building up more and more of a lead as it remains green, because he's going to have those fresh tyres. Maloney will have that 25-lap dash to the end, but will it be enough to get him in that position? That's the question.
So he'll be chasing down Pearson, obviously stopping first, but he will finish faster. So it'll just be a matter of the laps if he can catch him in time, basically. That's exactly right, Carl.
Yeah, really, it makes things much more interesting for the old strategy calls. That's what we love seeing as well. It's, you know, when you do get these interesting strategies playing out, it can make things very, very interesting. Speaking of, you know, we've only got 8 cars on the lead lap at the moment. Of course, it is green flag pit stops, but you can see how much that early caution did throw a lot of guys out of position. So it has really mixed things up here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Justin Witcher still just dropped off the back of a little bit of Maloney there, but yeah, still having a good showing here. So he's playing his strategy as well. So he's just going to run with Maloney. We'll see if he comes in and tries to undercut Maloney at some point in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, and you've got to say, good drive from Witcher at the moment. He's been very, very reliable and very, very calm as well. Not pushing too hard, not really overdoing it in the car.
Yeah, definitely not. And as you can see, Stockton, oh yeah, he is trying to get on the pit road. He manages to get it down there. He gets it pulled up in time. So a little bit unorthodox, bit of a wild entry there, but he gets it down there.
Of course, it is a fast entry onto these pit roads as well. And that's something else that can catch you out too. You know, you are coming quite hard and fast off of that final corner off of turn 4 as you come onto pit lane. You do change from banked to flat surface. It's a change of slight change of tarmac feel as well, because there's not been cars racing on it all night, and you're on those very worn tyres. Very easy to loop it when you come into pit lane.
Yeah, certainly. Very, very easy, actually. As soon as you get onto that flat surface, yeah, you almost lose all grip. But, yeah, you want to try and stay up on that banky as much as you can and get right around basically to the entry before you drop down, and which you're legally and entitled to do, basically. Entitled to do. As Richard now takes the stop. So he's about to pull off on the back of Maloney here. He comes to the service. So as Neil Pearson goes past him, which will be a lap down, but on them fresh tyres. So... yeah, it's going to be the top 3 here, all split strategies here. We'll see how it all pans out in the end.
Yeah, that's it. Looking back a little bit, it might be a little bit tricky for people like Reuben Phelps and Adam Rosell coming into the pit lane, just because they've got a lot of cars around them that are just out of the pit lane. So they're going to have to really make sure to call that they're coming into the pit lane when they are, because otherwise there could be a very big incident here.
Yeah, as I said, where's the yellow flag? We've got the flag. So, whoa, man.
It's a repeat of last time.
Justin Witch is going to be spewing. He's just taken service. It might work out okay. He won't have to take the wave around. He's just got fresh tyres, hasn't done anything with it. We jump back to a replay here, and it is Barry Neal going down the inside of Tristan Koch in the 550, I believe that is, and just gets into him, man. Yeah, racing incident there, but could be new and old tyres there, but the 550 down on the apron there, and he'll get that thing going again, but with a bit of damage.
Yeah, that is devastating for a lot of drivers. The person it's worked out for is going to be Jake Maloney. So dropping to the back of the queue and coming back, Jake Maloney, it's working out very well for him.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the scoring now. So we've got Raymond, there's only 5 cars on the lead lap right now. So you got Phil Otto in 5th, Reuben Phelps in 4th, Rosell in 3rd, and Jaeger 2nd, and obviously Maloney leading. So those guys are going to be able to just take service easily here and get back out. It's going to be a battle between those guys. So, geez, I tell you what. And Neil Pearson, he will get the wave around, but he will be towards the back of it. Yeah,
it's not worked out perfectly for Pearson, but it could have been a lot worse for him. But yeah, Jake Maloney's going to get into pit lane. He's going to get those fresh tyres. He's going to come out. Adam Rosell, Reuben Phelps, Phil Otto, of course. You know, these guys, it's just could not work out better for them for that top 5.
Yeah, it's hard to work out here. So as now Maloney's coming in, you'll see a few of these cars. They'll start to pop up back on the lead lap because they'll get the wave around from behind the pace car here. But Maloney will lead this field away to green here, coming to the last portion of the race.
Yeah, that's it. And of course, you've got a few cars coming in for some just chuck on those last set of tyres and things like that as well. So, you know, it's going to really change things up, of course, because the other thing as well is those guys that have been out there for a few laps, it could really affect them too, because of course those guys all around them will have much fresher tyres. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting finish to this race. Very unusual circumstances to have cautions like this.
What I'm curious to see now, these guys coming around to the pit now, the pit lane will open to these guys now. Let's see if they take tyres. I'd have to say Edward Foster will definitely be one of those. He stopped earlier. He's going to have to come down pit lane, I reckon. He'll chuck some greens at it.
Foster's already pitted, so
there you go.
I'm wondering if he came in a bit too quick, Greg, because was he a lap down though? That's the question.
Yeah, usually the lap cars have to wait another lap before the pit lane opens for them. So if he came down at the same time Maloney is, he might see himself getting a black flag penalty for that one.
Yeah, it all depends on what lap he was. So we'll have to wait and see how that one shakes out.
Yeah, it's very hard. Like the scoring doesn't update till they go across the line. So you see a few takers going in there, couple more there. So yeah, it's a real mixed bag here.
Yeah, I think I just heard Foster say he got the black flag.
Yeah, he hasn't noticed that the red light above the pit lane closed. So as predicted, yeah, he did get that black flag.
That is devastating for Foster. He's going to have to take a black flag. He's going to have to take a drive through the pit lane once it goes back to green flag racing.
And it's easy to do because you're thinking about strategy. Your mind's elsewhere. You're not looking at the lights to see if it's open or not, and you just see cars come down. You say, "Yep, it's normal habitat." You're not usually down a lap, so you're not used to that. And you just peel off as per normal as you normally would without realising. So it's easily done. I've done it before and many others, but unfortunately, you do the crime, you got to do the time.
That's it. And when you're so used to being up in that lead pack, sometimes your brain just switches to auto mode, and that can happen.
Yeah, easily done. So he'll have to lick his wounds for this one tonight. But I guess the good thing, I think it might even just be a drop to the end of the line. So he's going to be right at the back. So he might not have to be a stop go, but it'll be a drop to the end of the line, I believe, coming to a closed pit.
Yeah, we'll see how that one shakes out when it does. Because as they're
dropping now at the top of the field there. So yeah, I think it's a drop to the end of the line, I believe.
That's it. It's going to be a bit messy for the next couple of moments as things start to sort themselves out. But this is something we've not seen for a while, Dave, is the caution coming out in the pits, in the pits periods. Of course, it does happen, and when it does, it really throws things out of whack.
Oh, absolutely! It's like the rain. It's the great equaliser. It's thrown this race twice into disarray, and there's a lot of driver chat at the moment. So a few frustrated drivers out there too tonight.
That's it, and no one ahead of Foster have taken tyres either. So those guys have stayed out a little bit longer. So Foster's going to have those fresh set of tyres. So he might be able to work his way back up there. But it's going to be tricky for him. Jake Maloney now up front is starting to form up too wide. As pace car lights go out, it's going to be Raymond Yeager next to him with Reuben Phelps. As we mentioned before, Reuben Phelps having a good season with Adam Roselle in the second row. Phil Otto and Neil Pearson, the teammates, are behind them. But Pearson is right at the back of the line. So he's got to work his way through a lot of lapped cars to get back up there.
Yeah, it's an absolute mess out there at the moment, Carl. So yeah, good luck with calling the positions here. But one thing we do know that 29 is at the point, and he's got fresh tyres with Raymond Yeager on his outside.
That's it. As the pace car comes in, the green light's going to drop, and Jake Maloney gets a good start there. Pulls away from Raymond Yeager. Reuben Phelps is going to slot in just behind them with Adam Roselle in fourth. Let's see how things start shaking out now. The race is back underway.
Yeah, the 52-ish Aiden Schultz has gone nowhere here, and it's causing us a lot of issues back here. I have no idea what's going on there, but at the restart there, it's very, very messy out there right now.
It is, there's cars all over the place. Neil Pearson just working his way up the field now, trying to get up back to the front of the line. We've got a car going around in the foreground, car going across the infield.
It's
Harry Anastakis there going across the infield. He managed to catch it. Good job. Good recovery there for Parry, and good job actually catching it, because that could have been a caution there. But that has dropped him back a few positions and caused some damage to the car. Up front, meanwhile, Jake Maloney is in the lead with a fast-charging Raymond Yeager behind him. Neil Pearson, as I said, is frantically trying to work his way back up the field and get up to Phil Otto at the moment. Adam Roselle is just behind Reuben Phelps. So really a different front of the field than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just watching some cars out there, a few brain fades out there as well at the moment. So it's all happening tonight. That's what happens when you turn the lights on at Las Vegas, mate. There must be a full moon out there, I'd say.
Yeah, that's it. Full moons do not help drivers think. I mean, drivers are not the most stable of creatures at the best of times, but when a full moon comes out, it makes them even worse.
But yeah, as you said, Neil Pearson's on the recovery here, so he's worked his way up into... Actually, where has he dropped out to now?
Pearson is in 6th position at the moment. He is just in front of Foster, who is charging hard behind him and wanting to make up those positions. But he's around about 4 seconds behind the leader. And
a bunch of lap cars in between him and the guys in front of him as well, too. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 6 cars between him and the next car he's racing too. So a lot of ground to make up. Yeah, I said earlier in the night everything's going right for him. Well, that one didn't work out for him tonight.
No, that's it. A lot more cars on the lead lap, though. We've got 24 cars back on the lead lap.
He just turned around. Oh, I think just in front of the 53 of Edward Foster. That was very close. I'm pretty sure that was a 62 of Mirko. Having a spin off turn 2. We go to a replay here as he just gets up high. It's very strange. Just gets loose and then, can't gather it up. Touches the wall and rubs it. He's going to come right down in front of the 53. Is he going to sneak through there without contact? Wow. That's very close for Edward there, the 2020 champ, as Mirko takes a wild ride to the inside wall there.
You cannot get closer than that, really, can you? That would have been a brown alert for Foster for sure. He was very lucky to get through there and very, I guess you could say, very unlucky that the
green too. Sorry, I thought we went yellow. We stayed green there too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The caution did not come out as we have just under 17 laps to go now. So we're on lap 114 of 114 now, and it is getting very, very close up here at the front.
Yeah, as we looks like that's Phelps making a move behind there on Jaeger at the moment, and he's going to get that job done, and Roselle's going to be the next one to take part in that. So Raymond might have used a bit of tyre here. It just seems a bit odd that he's losing a bit of pace, but they are teammates though, so maybe he's just let him go and see if he can chase down Maloney in front of him.
Yeah, we've seen Phelps have some good speed tonight so far. I seem to recall Raymond as well getting a couple of bumps in the pack, so it might be a little bit of damage at play as well for him, just losing a little bit of pace there. But Maloney is starting to pull a decent gap. He's he's over half a second ahead of Phelps at the moment. So those guys really do need to start working together to actually get this sorted out. As a little bit further back, Neil Pearson has just overtaken his teammate Phil Otto. So I think, wait, am I wrong? No, I'm wrong there. Sorry, he was just overtaking another car, sorry. But he's trying to catch down on Phil Otto at the moment. He's about a second off there. So Neil Pearson really trying to get back up there. But you've got to say, unless a caution comes out, he's going to be out of luck, isn't he?
Yeah, it's going to be a hard task from there. But, there's a few DPR cars out there, so it's easy to get confused. But he's going to give it everything he's got here.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing out there, as I say, because there's a lot of people in positions that they're not usually in, and then there's a lot of cars that are out of position as well because of the pit stop issues. So it really throws things out of whack for us on the timing screens and can really make things a lot trickier to call.
Yeah, so funnily enough, after all the jumble of the cautions, we've still got 23 cars on the lead lap, and Purnell is the last car on the lead lap at the moment. So that hard work, as he just drops a lap now, actually. So he's dropped down a lap now.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
he's dropping right back. So we just heard he was just in the pit lane. So he's come down pit for some reason, whether to get some new tyres, but not having a good night there in the 9 and 20.
No, struggling a bit out there. Just also mentioning the champion at the moment, Foster. He's currently chasing down Nathan Button in 23rd position to get the first car on the for the waiver round, if that does come. So Foster is almost in that lucky dog position, so he's trying to get up there as quick as possible just in case that late caution does come. Reuben Phelps still in second place, Roman Jaeger in third, with a bit of a gap between himself and Adam Rosell, and then Phil Otto a little bit further back as well. So at the moment, those top four have got a bit of a gap between each other, not much happening right at the front of the field. A little bit further back, though, it is a little bit more chaotic, especially from 8th down, as there is not much gap between any of those guys.
Yeah, as Jake Maloney seems to be doing it pretty easy at the moment. He's just cruising out the front by the looks of it. And, tell you what, we got a spinner going down the back straight. There's someone in the hard on the inside wall. It might bring in a caution. He's come back out on the track. It might stay green for now. Just hold it down there. I'm not sure. I didn't catch the number of that car, but we're going to go jump back to replay. I'll let you call this one, Carl.
Yeah, so it looks like it's Dwayne Priest there, just going up into the barrier there, catching the barrier and having a big, big crash down the inside. Huge, huge spin, and across the track he goes. No caution called, though. So we've remained green by some miracle there, and I'm sure a lot of cars out there and a lot of drivers are cursing that, but it has remained green. Yeah,
not ideal in front of the race leader, Jake Maloney here, but coming off the win last week down in Homestead in Miami. Looking to double up here and get some pocket aces, I guess you'd say, in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's it. He's looking to bring home the bank and and definitely cash out a good prize tonight, Maloney. And you've got to say he's in the running for it, isn't he? Really.
That's it. He's rolled the dice, and yeah, we'll see if he can come up with the win.
That's it. But Phelps is starting to gain on Maloney now. So Phelps, it looks like he was just holding off a little bit, not pushing too hard on those tyres. And now he's going to try and get closer. He is catching at a decent rate, actually. So Phelps is starting to close on Maloney. The race isn't over yet.
Yes, he's not going to have it all his own way. So that time there was nothing in the lap time. So it was 10/100ths of a second between the top two there. Jaeger was about a tenth faster than the guys in front of him in third place. So it's not over till the fat lady sings.
I know we still got 7 laps remaining. Where am I? 8 laps remaining. 7 laps remaining. There we go. Sorry. 7 laps remaining of this race. So yeah, still a lot can happen, of course. And it is never over until that checkered flag is out and those cars are across the line. You've always got to keep trying.
But yeah, if you're Jackie Maloney, doesn't matter if you win by an inch or more. As Jaeger makes the move on the inside of his teammate Reuben Phelps right now, and we'll see if he can get the job done down here. But bit of late racing between teammates here. It looks like he's going to be clear and should be able to move up in front of the Reuben Phelps Chevrolet there.
They do the crisscross now as Phelps gets the inside line. You're going to see Jaeger have that little bit of a run off the top, and he should be able to keep the position. But will he be able to slingshot himself up there and start closing in on Maloney? These guys don't need to be racing themselves. They need to be catching Maloney as the laps start counting down as we're on. Well, we're getting very close towards the end right now as they come across for lap 126.
5 laps to go. 5 laps remaining here in Las Vegas tonight, and sprung a bit of a surprise on tonight with the lights coming on, which was a bit odd straight away. But everybody's got the same conditions out there, so yeah, they've dealt with it pretty well, I think.
Yeah, adjusting to the dark quite quickly, these guys, so that's good to see. But under the lights, we have seen an absolute firestorm tonight as things have changed all across the board. Those 2 cautions coming out really changing things up for this race, especially in the green flag pit stop stages for so many of the drivers. And that has really thrown everything to the wind and really changed a lot of drivers' outcome tonight. But you've got to say at the moment, Neil Pearson, he's managed to catch Phil Otto, get past him. He's up there in 5th place now. He's now chasing down Adam Rozelle. So he's going to want to try and get up as high as possible to keep that championship standing in a good position for himself.
Yeah, Phil Otto will be enjoying us, having a good outing tonight, top 5 here. So, yeah, good run for the number 1 stalemate of the series, and yeah, he'll be loving this right now.
That's it. And will Jake Maloney be the first to take back-to-back? Well, first to take 2 victories this season in the Cup Series. Will he be able to take back-to-backs as well? He's looking good at the moment as we are just crossing the line for lap 129.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back through the field and just see about any other battles at the moment. But yeah, the closest one at the moment is Adam Rozelle and Phil Otto. Sorry, Steve Williams is a lap down, so I thought it was a bit closer. But we've got JCW on the outside of Riley Kirsten, 93 here. Let's see if he can make the pass. Those guys are battling down there for, what's that, 20... that's a lap down.
15th, 16th, 17th.
Yeah, sorry, not a lap down, but yeah, 16th, 17th, 18th.
So as Maloney crosses the line, the white flag comes out. Final lap for the leader now. Maloney just has to stick it for one more lap now and hope that caution flag does not fall to bring us a green-white checker, of course. But Maloney has got a decent lead, almost a second ahead of Raymond Jaeger and Reuben Phelps there in the Activity Hub Barley car. Great result for those as well, keeping up there at the top of the field. But Jake Maloney dropping to the back of the field seemed to work out well for him as he comes across the line for the final time tonight, taking the win here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Great win from the 29 of Jake Maloney tonight, and yeah, played his cards right again tonight, and comes away with the victory. Absolutely. You've got to say, a almost faultless drive there for Maloney.
very, very good job getting that victory as well. Raymond Yeager, Reuben Phelps, brilliant result for the Activity Hub Barley team. And another good result for Adam Rosell. Season best, I think, and Anzcar best result for Reuben Phelps too. So congratulations on that one. One of the rookies for the season this year. Adam Rosell there in 4th. 5th place in the end for Neil Pearson. Damage control mode, it could have been much worse for Pearson, but 5th place, I'm sure he will be happy to take that tonight. Phil Otto in 6th was Justin Witcher, another new face to the top 10 in 7th place. Another Activity Hub Barley car. Great result for that team tonight. 8th place was Josh Micklemore with Jason Martin in 9th. 10th was Hamish Gallagher. The Mitch Motorsport team managed to close up the top 10 there. 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th with Danny G as well. Jason Hardigan managed to get up to 12th position in the end with Michael Skurlock 13th. 14th was Barry Neal with Riley Curtis 15th. 16th was Trehair and 17th was JCW. 18th, Scott Griffith with Devon Stove 19th. 20th was Aaron Major with Auckland Urquio 21st. 22nd was David Stockton, and the first of the lap down cars was Edward Foster in 23rd. 24th for Button, Finley 25th. 26th for Dyson, 27th for Spencer, Hunter 28th. 29th for Chris Purnell, Stephen Williams in 30th. 31st for Matthew Raymond. Worley in 32nd with Perry Anacassis in 33rd. 34th was Ryan Bull with Will Jesberg in 35th. 36th for Patton, Jordan 37th, James Robbie at 38th, 39th for Dwayne Priest, Mirko Dortnack in 40th, 45th for Tristan Koch, 42nd Aidan Schultz, and the first car that was out, unfortunately, Paul Jackson there in 43rd position. But great night for Jake Maloney, back-to-back victories. Got to say, I'll probably be pleased with that one.
Yeah, certainly. Didn't have it all his own way. Had to work for it, but sort of come to him in the end amongst all the pit stops. So very jumbled up field tonight, but yeah, we like a bit of a mix-up, so good to see.
So we'll grab up our top 3 into the booth, and we'll start off with third place man and first time to the booth. I think this is Reuben Phelps. Congratulations on the top 3, Reuben.
How's it going?
Welcome to the booth. Nice to have you up here. You've been having a stellar season so far. You've been having some good results and been knocking on the door of the top 3 for a while now, and knocking on the doors of the sort of the booth as well. Congratulations on getting up there, and what a great finish for the team as well. You must be pretty chuffed with that.
But considering how the race started, I didn't get a chance to qualify, so I started dead last today. So, and with the car handled at the start, it was just I could not drive it. I was having a handful. So, but then those cautions came out in those pit stop scenarios, and it gave me a lot of track position, which helped a lot, and then which saved me a heck of a lot.
Yeah, it really worked out well for you. And as you say, 40 positions gained tonight. You definitely win the most positions gained. First top 3 finish for the Anzcar series. It's great to have you up here as well. You've been having this is your first series with your first season with the series, isn't it?
Yeah, no. So, I joined one of the other leagues, which is Full Throttle last year, and they introduced me to Anzcar, and they said, finger that, and they gave me a chance to do this. So, yeah, no, this is the first season, and of course I've had a few rough races in the Cup Series, but finally got a result that I'm happy with today. So, yeah, no, it's been good so far in the trucks and the Cup cars.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to mention. We've seen your name pop up quite a few times in the truck series, and this is obviously the first time in the Cup Series, the top area, but really great race out there tonight, and it's great to have some fresh blood coming in and getting in those positions. Obviously, season with Activity Hub Barley as well, so obviously quite a few experienced teammates around you. How much has that helped you?
Definitely, it's definitely helpful, and I've brought my own little forte to the team as well. Michael Shorey's greatly brought me into the team, and we've been pretty strong, getting good results and doing a good job. So if we can keep it up, we'll definitely see a lot of us be up in the top 3 quite often this season, I reckon.
Yeah, we absolutely hope so. And I've noticed a few times in the chat, especially in the truck series, you've had a bit of a fan club as well. So great to have you up here. Congratulations on your first top 3. Before we let you go, of course, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
You got a shout out to Activity Barley Hub Racing as a whole, for the whole team to making this all happen and getting and doing a good job. And of course, shout out to my mum because she's always watching. so that's about it.
Congratulations, Reuben. Pleasure to have you up here. Nice to meet you finally, and we hopefully will have you up in the box soon, very soon.
Thank you.
Next up in second place for the Activity Hub Bali Hub. Sorry, I can't remember which way it goes. But Raymond Yeager, nice to have you back in the booth, Raymond.
Yeah, thanks. It's good to be back. It's been a while.
It has been, but it's a pretty decent night for you tonight. You had some good pace out there, obviously, and we saw quite a lot of battling for yourself as well. The pit stops working out in your favour as well. Those cautions, of course, making a big difference to throwing a cat amongst the pigeons, you can say. But you were definitely there on some pace as well tonight.
I don't think I was. I was running about 15th, 16th before that first round of pit stops, and I was just sort of stuck there. I couldn't come forward, didn't really go back. But those cautions when they fell during those pit things, they just worked out really well for me. I sort of got a little bit more of a handle on the car later on as well, so I got a little bit more pace at the end, which was nice.
Yeah, we saw you're having a bit of a run towards Jake towards the end there. Did you feel like you guys could possibly catch him as it went on? Also, we saw you battling each other as well, but with yourself and Reuben Phelps there as well. Were you guys sort of swapping positions, trying to see who was faster to try and catch up to Maloney, or were you just racing?
So it was a bit of that. At the start, I didn't feel like I had the pace to get to Jake, and Reuben was coming in on me pretty good, so I let him go to have his go. He couldn't get there, so I sort of found the middle groove a bit better later in that run. So Reuben let me back by, and as you said, I was catching up to Jake. I got it back to about 0.6, I think, at one point, but I think I used up too much tyres trying to get to him.
It seemed to be a big problem out there tonight, is if you did push too hard, those tyres seem to drop away quite a lot.
He was. He was pretty loose in the rear at times.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw some good saves out there and quite a few door-to-door actions as well. Do you feel like everything was just that little bit loose tonight? And did the change from day to night throw you out a little bit at the start as well?
Yeah, it actually helped myself and Reuben probably, because we actually ran a night race earlier in the week. So it was probably a bit better for us. I had nothing during the day, so.
Well, I'm glad to hear it worked out for you. And again, congratulations to the team as well. Obviously, it's your first season as the team in the series?
My first season with Activity Hub Bali.
Yeah, that's it. Memory is a tricky thing sometimes. So congratulations on first top three finish with them as well. Of course, before I let you go, the usual shout outs and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't be doing this without Mock for sure. He's put this team together, and he puts up all the practices, and like he's super dedicated to making sure that us guys can be up the front here, so couldn't do it without him. Obviously, Reuben, fantastic job tonight, finishing third. He's been really good in the truck all year. He's had a bit of bad luck in the Cup car so far, but yeah, good to see him up here with us. And obviously, Jake, well done on winning. You guys, fantastic for putting on the broadcast each week. Yeah, super job.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much, Raymond. Glad to have you back in the booth.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Hopefully we'll be back at some point sooner than last time.
That's it. We'll see you again soon. I hope for sure. And next up, as mentioned before, Jake Maloney, second time up in the booth in so many weeks. Congratulations on the victory.
Cheers, guys. Good to be back.
Yeah, good. It's nice to have you back up again. We sort of miss you for a while, and then all of a sudden you just spring up and then just dominate. Very good race from you tonight. We saw you drop back to the back of the field again tonight. Bit of a strategy call there, just to sort of keep everybody in front of you and not get involved in too many incidents.
It was probably a strategy similar to last week to try and look after the tyres and sort of hope for cautions, but then reached about lap 20, lap 30, and I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble here. So I sort of had to go and sort of spent the first 50 laps in 43rd, and then fortunately people started to pit and the caution came out, which jumped me up to like 15th, which dug me out of a hole pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those sort of, it looked tricky in the midfield and sort of towards the back of the pack as well, just making those positions. It was fairly similar paced out there for a lot of guys tonight. It didn't look too easy to catch and pass.
Didn't. Yeah, no, I certainly struggled a few times to pass people. Had to make a couple of aggressive moves to get past, but yeah, no, it was good fun racing a few people tonight, and yeah, it was probably fortunate with that last caution. I sort of knew I didn't have the pace of Neil, so I thought I'd just do the opposite and hope for a caution, and fortunately for me, it worked out tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, it did look like Pearson had the pace over you, especially when he pulled out that lead through that lengthy green period between that first and second caution. So obviously your plan hatched to stay out a bit longer, and the caution gods helped you out for sure there. But we saw some good pace with you tonight. With that last stint, were you just sort of pushing the car as much as possible, or were you looking after the tyres a little bit just so you had something at the end?
I was pretty much going. I think there were only probably 4 or 5 cars that were on fresh tyres with the way everyone had to get wave around, so I just figured I was going to go as hard as I could and try and put margin on.
Right, well, it worked out for you in the end there, another victory, and well, that's 2 for 2 this season for races you've entered. So will we be seeing you back a few more times this season?
Yeah, I'll be around when it doesn't probably clash with some other things like V8s and that, but yeah, I'll be around doing a few races.
That's good to hear, and of course this is going to lock you, I think, up into the top 20 as well, so you'll be locked in for those qualifying sessions now as well, which will be a great help, I'm sure.
Yeah, I won't have to qualify, then immediately pull to the back.
You could do your favourite strategy at the start. Thanks, Jake. Before we let you go, of course, the usual shout-outs and mentions.
Big thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast and the series for putting good series on. Very good. Only 2 cautions tonight with 43 cars. It's pretty impressive. So yeah, good racing from all.
Well, thank you so much, Jake. We look forward to having you in the booth again soon. You have a good night, and congratulations again on that victory.
Cheers.
Jake Maloney there, taking the win and the first guy to do the 2 victories this season for the Cup. Dave, what were your thoughts on that race?
Yeah, mate, it had everything. It was a tough one to sort of break down with those cautions and a big mixed bag of results there as well for a lot of guys. So, yeah, look, it threw everything at us and some. So, yeah, only 2 cautions, which is, as Jake said, it was great with 43 cars, so full field. So, yeah, it had a bit of everything tonight.
Yeah, that's it. And 43 cars out of, I think there was almost 50 qualifying tonight. So, you know, a lot of cars out there tonight and a lot of people trying to get into the Cup Series, of course, which is what we love to see. But, yeah, absolutely. Great race out there tonight. Very good driving. We saw some great saves as well, and things that could have been a caution not becoming one. And obviously racing without a caution is what we love to see here on the SimShed Network. Speaking of the network, we have some upcoming things for you soon. So on Tuesday night, this Friday night, we have the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. That will be at 7:40 Australian East Daylight Time. So 7:40 for that one. Then on Tuesday night, we have the Nationwide Tracking Systems V8 Super Series at 8 p.m. Wednesday, the Goodyear AutoCare V8 T2E Series at 8 p.m. as well. And then on Thursdays, of course, it'll be the Anzcar Abruzzi Cup here at on the SimShed Network, and we'll be racing at Phoenix next time out. A little bit of a different track, a little bit of a different way of racing at Phoenix, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it gets a bit of a shorter track, and yeah, it breeds a lot of caution. So hopefully we don't get a caution fest there, and everybody has their thinking cap on next week.
Yeah, that's it. We look forward to it, and we look forward to you all joining us. And a big thank you to everybody that watched tonight, everybody that came and joined us here tonight. As always, we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys watching. So a huge thank you to you, and a big, huge thank you, of course, to our series sponsor and the Cup sponsor, Abruzzi, JP as well, for doing the cameras, and the SimShed Network for hosting the series. So from myself, from Dave Douglas and JP, of course, we wish you all a good night, and we'll see you next time out at Phoenix. Bye-bye.